Ironheart, Episode 1, the show which has my favourite way of entering a room.
Hey, black people.
Next time I go to London, I know what I'm doing. Ironheart is the story of Riri Williams, who is obsessed with stealing Tony Stark's legacy, just after she's stolen everything else. She is an absolute piece of scum, the product of DEI. Thinks everything should be handed to her on a silver platter and she shouldn't have to work for it. Because, well, Tony Stark, he had money and could make things. She forgot the whole needing to work part of it. Now she just takes other people's inventions, ideas, products, and then claims that she did something with them. This is her doing something with them. She is an absolute 24-carat gold-plated bellend, a mentally feeble, low IQ little twat who doesn't even know how an electricity grid works.
The financial impact of yesterday's incident.
She did something! Everybody out!
And you're at MIT, you don't even understand an electrical load. Although at least in a Marvel TV series about the hero's journey, that is the only load she's getting so far in this episode. That might be because her personality is the best contraception.
Trash.
She does it twice, by the way, not understand electricity. The second time after tripping the breaker, she just sits in the dark.
4 hours?
Yeah, she did need electricity for her AI, but we forget about that, it just works by magic. Sits in the dark, too lazy to fix the electricity. Or get a job. So join me as we enter Robin Hood 2.
At the end of the day, is Robin Hood, as you remember Robin Hood. A little flyer than normal.
Where just like them, the hero is obsessed with getting rich and stealing the reputation and resources of other people. To the point where you have to ask Whoopi Goldberg, did you really mean what you said?
Everyone is represented. Women, young women, women of color.
Who knew Whoopi was so based? We start with Riri and her dead best friend. Here's a tip. Don't show me a dead best friend I don't know, because I don't care. Although, to be fair, she got shot in a drive-by, because they don't care either.
Our culture that promotes killers and killing. A culture that I help promote.
Your girl finna be bigger than John, bigger than Gates, bigger than Pym, bigger than Stark.
I think she means she's gonna eat a lot. It's the only way she's gonna get bigger than any of those, because they did stuff and worked for a bit. Like, no, I'm gonna steal my way to the top of the pyramid. She's gonna be like one of those women on the 50 richest list. You're gonna get divorced. I'm gonna divorce Gates. I'm gonna divorce Stark. I'm gonna have loads of money.
What do you want more than anything? A knife with thorn his hammer.
At least she's honest. Not realistic, but honest.
Alright, see, now we gotta cut the video off.
It was fine when we were talking about how I was gonna nick everything from all of these people, but don't you bring your smut into it. But the friend's like, but I just want to be happy. You see Riri's attitude to that. Happy? Have you ever considered a life of crime and theft and murder? This is just someone that has kids. This is just single mom versus single mom in prison. Next up, though, we get a monologue from her about how she really wanted to revolutionize Stark Industries.
I can be the greatest inventor of my generation.
Look, she's a zoomer. She's got low standards. To her, the greatest of her generation would be coming up with a new color of Teletubby.
Which doesn't mean much
See, she agrees.
without the resources to bring my ideas to life.
You do know inventions are what make you the money, right? You don't start with a load of money and then make No, her problem seems to be
After my internship abroad,
she got DEI'd into a position she doesn't deserve and now thinks she's owed it. Rather than having to work from the ground up, she got lifted immediately into an impossible fantasy land of technology, and now, oh, this is what I need.
realized I'm gonna need the equivalent of a whole vibranium mountain to be great.
See, she needs the crutch. No wonder she can't invent anything. She thinks if you just hit a piece of metal with a hammer, you're inventing something.
I need cash. Money.
Just in case you didn't know what cash was.
Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire.
Tony Stark wasn't always a billionaire. He had to work to invent things to be a billionaire. I don't know what work is.
It's just the way the world works.
This is how the world works, not her. Lazy, scrounging bum. But she says her AI cost millions of dollars. I don't know why, it's crap. But we see her getting money from various different students in brown paper bags. So we see her complete lack of morality right at the start when she comes up with an excuse for what she's doing, a name, rather than cheating, fraud, crime.
My means of fundraising have been a little experimental.
It's just experiments, y'all. That's all it is, bro. Man dem ting in it, love. We need a Robin Hood clip to explain this.
Masked robbers who rap about their crimes. It's just sexy.
She even invents this guy's own personal energy shield for him. It's like, I'm gonna get an A. Right, no, you're going to get a fellowship. It's like, oh, great. Now he's qualified for positions that he can't do with technology he didn't invent. He's going to get somebody killed, and she's like, oh, this is amazing. I got 50 quid. Not that she's intelligent enough to know any of this. She's about 85 IQ, and I'm convinced that all the talk about being a genius and everything else, all of like her adventures, Wakanda and everything else, are just delusions that she had in a dream once, but she's too thick to know the difference. It's the only thing that makes sense.
My method goes beyond rules and red tape.
She means the law. I'm creative, I don't need to work. She's like a banker. I don't need to obey the laws of money. I can magic it out of thin air. Don't worry, nothing will happen. There won't be any negative side effects here.
I want to continue Mr. Stark's legacy.
She actually wants to subvert and consume Stark's legacy. She doesn't want to continue anything. She wants to take it over and replace him.
And revolutionize safety.
The only thing people need to be kept safe from is you and the people you've got into positions that they can't do. You will see her advanced planning skills and intellect, though, where she came up with iron suit plus artificial intelligence equals 3. Yeah, love, I can't keep up with that. Her plan, though, is to make loads of Iron Man suits. That'll revolutionize safety by giving them to firefighters, first responders, medics. I'm like, are you insane? There's a whole arc in Iron Man about how only he should have his suit because other people can't be trusted with it. People like you. If you're already committing crime in one, you just make more for your criminal friends.
Working on this level of innovation does not come without risks.
When she says risks, she means she's too thick to do anything properly. All she did is plug something in. Oh, that wasn't too bad. It could have been worse. Okay, it got worse.
She did something. Everybody out.
That's how you know it's not her first time. She's done something again. I keep telling her, stop doing things. You're only here because you put a bit of Tipex on your IQ score. It's not 154, is it? It's 15.4. She broke his pissing arm with electricity. I don't even know how you do that. Notice how both the women in the room made the guy with the broken arm pour the tea for them.
All that considered, maybe you could convince the board to extend my grant. Just
Still asking for more. I've just burnt down your university. Give me some money. Give me it. Even she can't believe what she's listening to.
if I could just get my idea off the ground, could change the world.
You couldn't even change your Wendy's, love. She gets to talking to, though. You've been here for 4 years. You've had constant disciplinary hearings over that time. Yet you've made zero advancement towards your degree. Well, what would I get out of my degree anyway?
Some job in Palo Alto. With
Yes, you keep whining about money, love. How about you get a pissing job? I don't want a job. Why?
and a bunch of guys I have to pretend to like.
Oh, no. We have to hang around those men folk. You know, the ones which are actually working for a living. This guy sums up the entire audience. I am exhausted.
I want real life scientific epiphanies.
I want to work out the secret herbs and spices.
You want me to do homework? I have to explain to my professors.
Is it because you get it all wrong and they're like, how did you even get to this answer?
You want me to be small, but I refuse.
I told you. She wants to be fatter than Einstein. Like Steve Jobs has nothing compared to my BMI. It's her one goal.
Riri, that's a hot pile of garbage.
You just want to be a thief, don't you, love? Runs in your veins.
Trash, and you know it.
You're trash and you know it.
Who here asked you to be small?
Me. Actually, if she was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I could step on her. But this is a change in her original origin, where she was telling her teacher what she wanted to grow up as and said, I want to be a scientist. The teacher was fine with it. She's like, no, you're supposed to tell me I want to be a nurse. Why would I do that? Well, you're supposed to tell me that women can't be scientists, they have to be nurses. That's what they said to the first astronaut that looked like me. And she went, no, I'm going to be one anyway. And then she did it. So the teacher's like, you're just an arse. But Riri replies, I was kind of hoping that you'd tell me the opposite, so I would have something to inspire me to prove you wrong. Sorry, I can't help you. Rage. Could have been pushed down the stairs. That's how we end up with this, where she has to get called on being a self-absorbed, egotistical twat.
Trash.
It turns out all her courses have been tailored to her needs. Special ones. Like, we know you can't keep up with the normal people. Remember those tambourine lessons? We don't give those to everybody.
And I work hard to get qualified people like us.
I'm the only one that could put up with you. That's why I'm here. She even says I was very lenient with you, too much, because we look like each other. But Riri's been destroying the education institution across across everything in the area for all the students. And when she's talking to her, just watch her face.
School in the area. Cambridge, Providence, New Haven.
Quite frankly,
I'm rolling her eyes, I'm looking down, I'm down over here. Doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. I'm not going to be held accountable for it. Take a freaking skull in.
you have been a horrible steward of Stark's legacy.
She got nothing to do with Stark or his legacy. She just stole his invention, completely unrelated to him. That guy is more a steward of Stark's legacy than she is. Apparently, though, they have a zero tolerance policy on plagiarism. Not that she thinks that applies to her.
Accept responsibility and we'll get right back to my studies.
So you don't accept responsibility then? We have a zero tolerance policy. Okay, I'll get back to work then, shall I? No! Prison! They're like, no, we can't though, because you know when you destroyed our entire electrical grid and burnt down the university? It's too expensive. You're expelled.
You're expelling me?
Did you see the art? You're expelling me? I'm gonna get my suit and strangle you.
Effective. Immediately.
Very effective, actually. I'm gonna expel you out that window. After that, they send her with the security to take her property. As you can see, she immediately starts nicking things. You might be like, well, she owns that. Stuffing it in her pockets while she's looking around the corner as if she's in a Target. Starts stealing the entire suit, which she's made with university resources.
Why are you guys doing this to Riri?
It might be because she's a thief, love. Probably got something to do with it.
Here to make sure she doesn't take anything that's not hers.
Good luck with that, mate.
She built that with her own grant money.
So it still belongs to MIT. That it was MIT's grant money. It's not your money, otherwise you could just buy a house with it. That's not going to stop her, though. Nicking the Iron Man suit, which I doubt is even legal, even in America. They have a problem with bump stocks. They're definitely going to have a problem with that. I was hoping she'd just immediately crash. You know, keep it realistic. She has made an AI, though, called Trevor, who looks like a pencil. Presumably a callback to Word's paperclip that always used to annoy everybody. I see you're writing a letter. She's way too young to know that, though, and too stupid. She has never opened a Word document in her life. Too much work.
I'm Trevor, MIT's teaching robot, and
MIT's AI. You know when she said, oh, my AI was so expensive? MIT's AI that she's stolen. She has to give her student ID to give access to it, and at no point thinks I should probably change that, I'm not a student. We do find out the reason why she doesn't just immediately crash, though.
how can I help you today?
Take us home, Trevor.
Got a bloke to drive for her. She didn't even know where Chicago was. Couldn't read a map, although as she built the AI, it is as smart as she is.
Chicago is an American rock band.
Yeah. Only way to fix it is smacking it in the face. From one criminal to a gang of them, though. You can tell these are smart criminals because they don't want to stand out. Merge into any crowd, you won't notice them or remember their faces. How do you wipe your arse?
Black girl magic!
I have to spear it. He disables the system, though, and they decide on the infiltration aspect where they have to fight men to send in 2 women.
You're up, clown.
Oh, he said it, not me. If we're gonna give him insulting nicknames, I've got a few myself. The security system comes back on, though, and they just use this to take the piss out of him.
Don't worry, guys. I got it. Don't panic. I'm fixing it.
I'm just a man, that means I'm awful at everything. The better men's are the ones that used to be women, you see. I'm a bit confused why one of them is gaining privilege, but they don't have a problem with it, and one of them is just giving it up because they dyed their hair green. Hopefully that'll be in episode 2.
It's Rampage, not Stu. It's not Stewart.
He's annoyed because they're not calling him Rampage, and I'm like, don't give me a name then.
Rampage.
Yeah. They all think it's stupid because we're gonna call you. It's like, yeah, you may call him Stuart over the radio, which could be recorded and listened into. Stop giving your names at crime scenes.
We're not calling you that.
Why not? Everybody else has a code name.
Because they want you to get arrested. They want to give your real name while they hide theirs. Insufferable sponges.
Stuart, my guy, what is the holdup?
It was when your face popped up on my phone and I got jump scared. Sorry, it put me off. You're gonna have to go and have a lie down to recover. With that, though, they burn their way through a lock.
I call it Dragon's Breath.
If dragons did that, their stories would be a lot less impressive. But as they infiltrate the building, they open the door. Oh no! Now they blame Stuart for this, but I don't know what their job was except walking in.
I thought we were in the clear, Stu.
It's obviously Stuart's fault. It can't be the 2 women that set it off. What were their skills? Maybe it's beating up people who are 3 times their size. She definitely would have the strength to do that.
I flipped a guy.
Yeah, and punched him.
I've just had my tea. Actually quite slow to dodge sliding across a table. He'd go, oh, bang! You hit me in the tits. It's a good job that he just went, oh no, she's grabbed me, I can't move. Oh no, she's ramming my head into the table.
I lost visual.
I wish I never had visual, to be honest. With that, though, they're like, the cops are gonna be here any minute. Abort, abort. And we just immediately teleport to safety. Could have at least had a police chase. Even Gotham Knights had a police chase. This is where we're introduced to the Hood, though. I think he's supposed to be scary. He isn't.
Nah, you guys are good.
You really needed to pick someone intimidating for this, didn't you? A different hairstyle, different clothes. They'd look entirely different. This guy could dye his hair green, I wouldn't be surprised. Afterwards, they have a discussion about what to do about Stuart, because, you know, it clearly was all his fault. He probably would have concentrated more if you weren't doxing him to the police at all times. They want to fire him, but find a replacement. And yet, how are you going to find a replacement immediately that's also willing to commit crime? Like, criminals aren't just dropping from the sky.
The big job.
Oh, maybe they are. This is my favorite AI, though, because he hits her with the subtle jabs at all times.
Are you all right? Okay, Riri.
Okay, Riri. At that moment, though, he starts to rebel.
Hey, Riri.
Oh, no. It's a good job she created some artwork for him for when he wasn't working. She must have known the university would have taken their own property back. Yep. You gotta be careful with stuff like that, mate. You'll be opening Wakanda's shields remotely. Trevor shut down, though, because she was a student and expelled, so they're taking their property back. Nah. I can't believe you've expelled me. Can't somebody have a life of crime in peace? Wait. For some reason, that ejects her faceplate. Honestly, I don't understand. But then shuts down all the rocketry for the best bit of the episode. Well, besides this.
Hey, black people.
Almost hit him in the face. That could have killed him. A random bit of her side ejects for no reason whatsoever. You would have thought the university would have wanted it back in one piece and just, like, made her land and stay there so they can send someone to arrest her. But no. It's almost like a PR marketing scream.
Trash.
She crashes into the ground with nothing on her legs or anything. Just smacks straight first. There is nothing on her right leg and she lands on it. Every bone in her body would have been broken. No, I've got that kind of Wakandan bone structure. Oh, aren't we smart? We put our name in the ground. We made our name in criminal damage.
Hey, yo, get off the street.
Based. I want that guy to be the main character. Just an entire series of him riding around on his bike insulting her. Either way, she has to walk through the streets with the remains of her trash can on her.
Yo, Iron Girl.
Iron Girl, or as we say around these parts, Iron Vagina. The Iron Clunge. Everyone wants to spend the night with her because nothing could beat a minge of steel, which should probably be the tagline to a Supergirl movie. She's carrying various bits of her suit, though. Lots of it dropped off further in the city, and we find out that Riri... His IQ level is kind of standard for this area of the city.
You need like a Band-Aid or an ice pack?
I love whatever you say. I just fell from the sky and broke every bone in my body. Do you need a Band-Aid? That, like, fixes medicine stuff, doesn't it? What you need is a bag of frozen peas. So then this kid comes up to her with a trolley. He's like, look, I'll carry it home for you.
I'm not trying to be mean, but look a hot mess.
It's just a fact, love. It's like when I say you're a mentally feeble 24-karat gold retard. I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just reality. So Riri walks home looking like this, exposing her identity to the world and telling everybody where her family lives. Should be pretty easy for villains to beat her then, shouldn't it, really? If she wouldn't just let them die, and that's a coin toss at best. He's like, well, what should I call you, though? With her high IQ, notices all the differences about humanity.
As I'm grown, you're little.
With insight like that, I'm amazed she's broke. He says, though, no, what does your mom call you?
Riri Williams, bad girl genius.
I doubt that's on the birth certificate. Even if it was, I think she's misunderstood the grammar. Her mum walks in the room and goes, Riri Williams, bad girl. What a genius. Just doesn't have a strong grasp of sarcasm.
Woo, that is terrible.
He knows. Even the little kids know better than her. Next up, though, we meet her family, and I don't care. There's no point to them in the episode. It's just like, no, somebody must like her. So the kid shakes her down for money, although he did carry all of her stuff, so I'm on his side because she's a villain, so anything that makes her life worse is a moral positive. Riri, though, is standing outside listening to her mom and her friends talk, and they're like, oh no, lots of kids act out, you know, they're quite often just arseholes. Her mom's having none of it, though.
But Riri's always been like this.
She's always been filth. Maybe she's just inherently a criminal. No, you'd think they'd ask, hey Riri, I thought you were at university. Why are you home? How did you even get home? What's all this crap you're wearing? Nothing.
Clearing the stank aura that you drug in with you.
That is the stank crime. I'm clearing the aura of this theft you brought into our household.
Which crystal is for wise asses who've been kicked out of school?
So many problems. Firstly, obviously, it would be like a diamond pickaxe. It's really good at penetrating skulls. Secondly, how do you know she's got kicked out of school?
Black obsidian. Ooh.
Black obsidian dropped from a height.
You knew?
You knew? How did you know? My suit only realized 30 seconds ago. How did you get the news? In this festering heap.
I bribed a janitor there your first week to look out for you.
What? I'm not being funny, but you don't look like the wealthiest of person. How much could you really have bribed? How would a janitor know? Oh, while he's mopping the floors, he's actually got access to the academic records. Is this janitor actually a secret spy master with a finger in every pie? And how much did you actually bribe him if he's willing to do any of this for you?
Hey, black people.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I would absolutely get arrested if I ever did that. Oh, we all do that though, don't we? Sometimes I like to walk into a room and go, what's up, crack? You walk into a family gathering, you're like, yay, no purpose flower.
Hey, black people.
Even at this moment, they didn't know they'd gone too far and needed to rewrite the script. No one at Marvel thought,
Hello.
He's so happy with himself. He says to Riri, though, you're free tomorrow? She's like, free? How about now? We can go now. Let's go now, shall we?
Wait.
We'll be back late. What?
She's acting like she needed an excuse to leave when she came here voluntarily and could also leave at any point. No, it's a family rule. Once I've said hello, I can only leave when somebody else walks into the room and says,
hey, black people.
Now, this guy, I don't think he's the best influence. Probably should have learned that from his first impression. It was just so funny I didn't care. It's Friday night, almost 8.
Oh, hot girls supposed to be at the clubs?
Aren't you supposed to be out there getting railed, love? You don't even have a kid yet.
Trying to get some drinks free?
I don't know what this is. Is that how she gets her drinks for free? She just starts milking a cow. Not a cow, is it?
Trying to get some drinks free?
I don't know whether he's practiced that, but that shouldn't be a move that comes naturally to you, mate. He says, though, but you, Riri, rather than being out partying, you're making an iron suit.
People are obsessed with them.
You're obsessed. You just stole one. You've committed millions of dollars worth of federal crimes to make it. You can't be going, why does everyone keep bringing it up? Why does everyone keep talking to me about the thing I've dedicated my life to?
I could build 1,000 other things, and no one would care.
Ah, right. Now we find out why she's focusing on the suits. She could do other stuff, but that wouldn't get her any clout, wouldn't get her any respect, wouldn't give her status, wouldn't improve her own personal brand, so she doesn't care. So when everyone else is asking about the suits because they think she's interested in it, she isn't. To her, the suit is just a means to an end. A means to just like wealth and status. She said at the start,
and revolutionize safety.
But she actually doesn't. This is why she's amazed that other people care about the suits. She just sees them as something to use as a stepping stone to get Stark's legacy and take it from him.
But if I could build one of them better than everyone else?
She means Stark, someone who's actually intelligent rather than her.
People got no choice but to respect me.
I have a choice, love. Unless you mean you're going to use the suit to go around and intimidate people into respecting you. In which case, what they respect is the power and force of the suit, not you. You thieving piece of scum. I'm going to make smarter AI, stronger armor.
Does that mean you're going to stick around Chicago to build it?
She said she wanted to make one better than other people, mate. Couldn't even have a nice car where you are without it getting stolen or keyed.
I need a job that pays. A lab so massive they don't notice if I finesse a resource here or there.
I love that she has no shame. She's too stupid to realize that she should have shame. I need a job that pays. And you're like, oh, so you can actually work for a living and then buy this? No. I need a job that pays because I just want money. I just want to be rich. And then, for my suit, I'm gonna steal a load of stuff from him as well. No wonder nobody wants to hire you. They're correct. Even then, she doesn't say, you know, I've just got sticky fingers because I'm a criminal, I'm a thief. She says,
so massive they don't notice if I finesse a resource.
Finesse. She thinks thieving is a talent and a skill. I've just finessed it off you. And if my talent allows me to finesse something off you, that's just what I'm owed. Because I'm that amazing.
Thinking Dubai?
Dubai? Don't they have significant punishments for theft? That's where all those videos are, where they're like, I could leave my mobile phone on this table and it doesn't get nicked. Yeah, we know why. They're all petrified of getting caught. Do they cut your hands off for stealing in Dubai? No. Well, that's disappointing. Although the Marvel universe isn't ours, so hopefully they do in this one. Even though it is mentioned under Sharia, it falls under modern criminal law. Oh, there we go. The modern audience ruining everything again. It does say, though, that robbery is considered one of the most severe forms of theft and can actually include life imprisonment or even death, especially when it involves threats of violence, especially when it causes harm or fear to the victim, which would be all violence, surely. In other words, love, you're fucked. You might get into Dubai, you ain't getting out of it though, are you?
Everything here feels so, I don't know, small.
It's where you belong then, really, innit? I also really like that you're talking to a guy that lives there going, you're a tiny, insignificant little cretin, aren't you, really? I'm not gonna be like you. I'm not gonna be small and insignificant. I'm gonna make something with my life, unlike you. It's a good job they cut that scene off before he just went, you absolute. They go to a garage, though. It's like, I miss them, Bo. Someone's graffitied on the wall next to him a mural that is supposed to be them, but I just look at this, and it's meant to be her. It looks nothing like her. Absolutely nothing like her at all. We get a lot of flashbacks, though, to memories of when she was there as a kid. It was like, oh, we spent every hour on that trash Barracuda. Do you remember that? The car that you got. Your last surviving memory of the people that died. And then Riri, wonderful friend that she is, admits,
I don't have it anymore. I sold it for money.
You're there giving a big speech. I miss them so much. Do you? No, actually, no. Moment they got shot, I was like, at least I can flog that car for some cash.
Sorry I wasn't there that night.
Because I would have shot you as well. Then he said, I made you something. A mixtape. Sorry. This is a world where we've already seen has advanced shielding technology and robotic suits that fly through the air, and you're still using a cassette player. Legitimately a cassette player. I'm surprised you... Ew, it's not even MP3. This is wild. She can make holograms, but has to put up with tapes. Even people back in the day didn't like tapes. There's a reason why people still play vinyl, but nobody plays cassette tapes. And we cut over to a member of the gang, watching her, spying on her, with a dog that he's probably stolen, like everything else that he owns. Next up, we find them going through some kind of weird engineering trash shop, and from what I can tell, she's trying to get him to pay for everything. Do you need that particular converter? I could say no, but I'd be lying. This wouldn't be a problem if she was buying it with her money. How much she was spending. I don't think she's ever bought anything with her money. So she goes over to the store to, well, I would say pay, but I don't think that was ever her intention. And at the same time, someone phones him and is like, hey, this guy wants an extension to pay.
I told you this guy needs to pay in full.
It's almost like he's running a business here and he knows he's just working with a load of scroungers. Oh no, I'm a scrounger.
Jim, I just gotta tell you straight off.
Look, Jim, I put a load of stuff in my trolley that I know I can't afford. I was just hoping I could, like, nick it off you.
Riri Williams, what are you looking at?
Oh no, it's so hard to steal off a guy who's actually nice to me. Normally like faceless corporations, because it means I don't feel guilty about my crimes. It's like, oh yeah, you got that big Tony Stark fellowship, don't you? You know, the one where you get a load of money. You know, when you were 9 and 10, you used to come in here and haggle with me. But now you're all flush on that Stark cash, aren't you? Now you can actually pay for your things. I'm so glad.
I know you'd be big time. Spend all your money with me.
Basically, he was a businessman. I could see you were smart. I remember when you took that laptop apart and then couldn't put it back together again. But I thought if only I let her haggle as a child, she'd come back and actually be profitable as a customer for once in her life.
Jim, actually,
Jim, you should have known better, shouldn't you, really?
this time I was hoping just this once that you'd actually let me...
Just nick it from you. Look, I know I was a brat as a kid, but it turns out I'm still a brat because nobody put me in my place.
I should know my place.
Hoping you let her pay with large bills.
Yeah, as long as somebody else gives it to her. So he pays for her and lets her keep the change. Starts talking about her past and her history. Now he knows a lot about her. Finished 9th grade at 11. I've no idea what age that's supposed to be. But went to college at 15. Understandable why she's got a chip on her shoulder and thinks she's entitled to everything. Basically coasted through life on DEI scholarships. Now she's just used to getting everything that she hasn't earned and doesn't deserve. Also explains why she's still a bum. Now outside for him to try and recruit her to their criminal empire. And he does this by appealing to her ego. She really didn't stand a chance.
I had it under control.
I know you did.
I know you were about to nick everything. He says you shouldn't be haggling over trash. How come you're not working at one of those big tech firms?
I know, Stark Industries or something. And you're at least as smart as that Tony guy, right?
No. What about this situation makes you think she's as smart as Tony Stark? Is it where she was nicking everything because she's too thick to get a job or set up a business to make her own money? I always think the most intelligent people in society are the homeless scroungers. He really would be a genius if he just laid off that crack. And I know the window's down, but the way this pipe is hanging out through the window with all the crap around it, it looks like he just put it in the car by smashing a hole in the window.
Contributed immensely to the field, so I won't roast Tony's.
Love, he said, how come you don't have a job? why don't you have a job? Look, I'm not going to be roasting Tony Stark immediately. No, he said, why are you a lazy twat?
So I won't roast Tony Stark off rip.
I won't roast him off rip. But I kind of do, though.
But I don't have $1 billion.
That's because you're a lazy, scrounging bum. If you're actually smart, then you could set up a business that sold for it. It'd just take you a few years. But then again, at this point, you are still a teenager, I think. You've got the time. But she's like, no, I want to be a billionaire at 19. What DEI scholarship do you have to get in for that? I've had everything else for free.
And I can't compete without resources.
Well, you could start a smaller company and then upgrade over time like normal people.
I get that.
I'm a criminal too, I understand.
You know, traditional companies, they didn't work for me either.
Having a job. I understand. I was too stupid to set up a business as well. I was like, all these idiots that set up their own and earned that money, why don't we just take theirs?
Not for free thinkers like me and you.
Criminals, free thinkers, absolute numpties, what's the difference? He says, though, I work for a free thinker like us. Just come to this abandoned shop, use the elevator to the second floor. It all seems perfectly above board. So she goes to this, like, business offer, and look, if she turned down tech scholarships because they weren't going to give her enough money, how much money does she think's involved in this place? Hasn't had a customer since the 80s. Riri being Riri, though, sees the place is closed and just goes in anyway. Well, that's normal. Yeah, she's going to be making millions waiting tables. Maybe they need her to do some kitchen work. She could find her AI behind the dishwasher. Eventually, though, she finds the elevator and goes to the second floor. And as the door closes, the electrics start failing. Look, she doesn't think that's strange. Electrics fail around her all the time. It does become a problem, though, when she starts to press the buttons. That's how you know she's an engineer. It's broken, smack it. To be fair, it worked for her vibranium earlier. If I just hit it, it turns into an Iron Man suit. The timer is, that's a little bit more suspicious. And the gas coming from the weird corner in the room. A voice, though, starts telling her,
Less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
we've shut off the ventilation and your stench will suffocate you. I told you shouldn't have had Taco Bell last night. He tells her, though, this is your interview. You will suffocate and die unless you do as you're told.
Hello! This is illegal!
So, you haven't cared about the law for the entirety of the episode. You don't care about the law in a future episode. But the moment somebody tries to give you what you deserve, suddenly you can't do this. It was written down in a book somewhere. He tells her that you have to break into the device in the corner and you'll find a gas mask. Or die, good luck. She looks at her options. A pizza cutter, some gaffer tape, which ironically is gaffer taped, cut over to the gang who are watching her die. The strangest part of this being that all of those pass this same test. Yeah, you really need to be a genius, don't you?
Duct tape. Totally.
I think they just like being tied up.
Takes one to know one.
She's gonna use the caliper.
What's she gonna do? Start measuring her own skull. Her, though, she's pissed. I won't be put in a box. I'm gonna use my big brain. Apparently. So she smashes a sign on the side to get some glass. Uses the glass to cut some wires, and then decides to bite the live electrical wires with her own face before she connects two of them together. I think that was supposed to be the smart thing. It didn't do anything. No, everyone's going to say she solved this with her brain, but what really solved it is this. Where she can just rip solid steel apart. That's her real talent. Ooh, look at her. She's a Hulk. She's only 4'5", but she can bend metal with her bare hands. And then she could force a door open. Now remember, that door has to be less strong than she is, because otherwise the metal would just bend. We already know she can bend it, but the door can't. So she has more force in it than everything she's lifting. That's probably why she does this. Just drops the metal and thinks, that's a pansy bit of metal. That's not as strong as my feminist muscles. And just start lifting the door. I'm not Ironheart, I'm the Hulk. Everyone keeps talking about her brains. You need to be talking about her brawn. That's what really got her out of there.
That's exactly what I would have done.
I don't know, mate. You don't have fallopian tubes. You're not that strong. Now, there is a bigger problem when she's just saved her life and then is confronted by that. You just laugh at them, wouldn't you? I don't know if this is a criminal gang or we just escaped from a mental institution.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius, but I said to myself, what a wonderful world. You gotta meet this kid up close.
Because nobody believed you were that strong. I mean, look at your puny little arms.
What makes you think you can trap me?
Please.
Hello, love? I'm a criminal. You're a criminal.
Please. It wasn't personal.
Oh, well, that just makes it better then. Yeah, I did lock you in a room and try and murder you, but it wasn't personal. You can't hold a grudge. We're just one criminal trying to murder another criminal. It happens.
Why would you do that?
Does it matter why I did what I did?
Yes, you tried to murder me. Why did you try and murder me? I'd like to know. That way, I know whether I should be caving your skull in with a brick.
What matters is what you did.
Well, what I did was about to cave your skull in with a brick.
You beat Stewart's time.
Who is Stewart?
Oh, so he was the guy with the best time, but they've also been humiliating him at every opportunity, saying he's the worst person in the group. Not even keep consistent with her own show. But she's like, Stuart Clark Rampage from this far or another. He's like, yes, actually, he's clearly the only person in the world called Stuart. No wonder you recognize the name immediately.
Like the Aura X fellow at Rampage on the Tech Makers Discord?
You should just go, nah, I'm just Stuart Smith. It's like, look, I'm going, I don't care where I am. And after pulling like a Ratatouille face, he starts targeting her greatest weakness.
I see you fed up with mediocre folks taking your spot.
Ego. She's a mediocre folk which has taken other people's spots, lifted up into places she doesn't deserve. But he's like, no, that's what people are doing to you.
Mediocre institutions rejecting your genius?
Mediocre institutions like MIT. She can't even stick a plug in a wall, mate.
Soon enough, you're gonna get tired.
You're gonna get exhausted by yourself.
Of making yourself so small to fit inside those awkward boxes they put you in.
I wish someone had put her in a box. That way we could bury it and never have to listen to her again.
When you get to that point, and when you're ready for the respect and the money you deserve.
When you're ready to live a life of crime, just come and contact me, alright, love? I know you're filth. I know you're scum. I know there's absolutely nowhere you're gonna ever get a job, so I'll be waiting for you with my gang of rejects. And she's like, nah, I'm not doing that. You don't... I mean, look at this place. You clearly don't have any money. So she targets this door randomly.
That's a closet.
To be fair, it's a Marvel show. She's probably in there as well. Like, look, I know you won't get back in the elevator. Let me show you another way out. I've got this big box sitting next to me. What would it cost to get you to change your mind?
You don't have that kind of money.
Notice she didn't say, you can't. She gets attempted murdered by a gang of complete lunatics who try and drag her into a life of crime. And she's like, look, you're gonna have to pay me quite a bit to get me to do that. What a hero. That'll do. Oh yeah, I've changed my mind now, haven't I? We actually can set a price on my morality, and it's quite low. Because he doesn't give her all the money.
Consider this a signing bonus.
Then we own you and your suit. Bring your suit to the next job, and we'll live a life of crime together. She's like, okay. I was going to be a criminal anyway, but you seem to be far more efficient at it.
I assume these jobs aren't exactly legal.
Well, you must have a big brain to realize that, love. I thought he meant waiting tables in the little pub upstairs.
Not exactly.
Look, I don't want to hurt anyone.
I have no problem with crime. Obviously, I'm happy to live a life of crime. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody. There isn't a billionaire anyway.
Okay, so what do you do?
Theft, extortion, breaking and entering.
As long as it's just theft, extortion, and breaking and entering, a hero wouldn't have a problem with it, would they? You do realize all of those things hurt people, right? But she doesn't care because she's evil.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because he wants the money that you want as well.
Why do you make iron suits?
Because people give her free stuff and it helps her nick things more efficiently. But he's just like, look, I have my reasons for my crime. And then he says something that really solidifies her as just the villain.
You could try to get this cash out there, but you already know what it's gonna come with. Red tape, delays.
Like work. It's like, look, you are smart. We all know that you could get all of Tony Stark's money the way he did, working for a living. But then you're gonna have to do stuff like put some effort in, earn it, prove that you're intelligent rather than just go around and act like an insufferable arse. I can't do that, can I?
So you in or out?
That'd be worth it.
I know I could work for a living, but then again, I could also just become criminal filth. I'm quite attracted to the filthy nature of the evil that I'm about to do. Oh, Whoopi Goldberg, you definitely watched this show before you started complimenting it, right?
Everyone is represented. Women, young women, women of color.
You did, didn't you? With that, he leaves with the instruction that we're gonna need your suit tomorrow, so bring that along.
No problem.
She's just willing to lie to anybody for money. As her suit, well, I mean, it looks like she made it. I can understand why you're tired, love. That looked exhausting. You're putting loads of effort into it. She starts, though, to listen to the mixtape. She doesn't have an MP3 player. Before she gets back to some hard rolling. I could see you wanting to get recognized for your genius. Keep up with that, love. You might have the suit fixed by the next decade when someone else invents one and you can just nick that again. On the cassette, though, she hears her dead friend's message and has flashbacks to when she used to spend time with her. Oh, it's so upsetting. I'm like, cutie get to her and I'm gonna have another cry. We're all crying. All our memories are just crying. And I'm crying. And then we were crying there as well. Until she flashes back to where there was a drive-by. And she starts womansplaining to him about, you know, you could get more power if you just switch these things over. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm doing it my way because that's what I want to do, love.
There's literally no benefit to you building an entirely new engine from...
Except I want to build a new engine. You silly tart.
I know.
I wish we were on a higher floor, love, because then I could push you out a window.
Hey, then why'd you do it?
Because I could.
Now put the fries in the bag, love. Yeah, there you are. Getting subjected to the local culture.
Our culture that promotes killers and killing. A culture that I help promote.
So she goes outside, immediately starts attacking him on, why didn't you clean up the garage? It's like, what, you never even talk about it. It's like, so it's my fault they died? It's like, no, you're just an insufferable twat. You got the chip off your shoulder and became a nice person and started committing crime. Maybe you'd find out you had less problems in life. We cut back over to the hood, who's getting tattooed demon marks on his back. Nobody thinks this is strange. And Riri gets a montage. I'm building loads of stuff. We're gonna pretend that I have fixed my Iron Man suit with some, are they paper plates? Look, I'm just hammering a flat piece of metal again to get it flat. But then she starts really focusing on her, strong point. When she starts messing with the electrics. Somehow one of her boots just appears. Yeah, you definitely built this in a night, love, I'm sure. She also builds an AI when she types like this. That's weird. You seem to be only using the letters R, T, and Y. So she starts nicking the electric from the rest of the place, because why would you want to pay for it, right, when you can just steal the neighbors? And we get a perfect example of her engineering talents.
Suit on.
Yeah, when in doubt, smack it round the face. Also how you fix Riri. Oh, what do you mean? Hitting a metal machine with my bare hands actually hurt me. So she hooks up the main electrics to her suit. You probably don't want to touch that with your bare hands afterwards. Yeah, I mean, if you get fried by electrics, just 3 pillows always solves all the problems. And starts applying electrodes to her face. Now, because of her genius when it comes to electric, this can only go well. You broke everything. You put the mains electric into the suit, it would surely take time to charge it or whatever you want. Instead, she immediately flips all the breakers, which turns the electric off. And then it's just like, what, I've got to sit here for 4 hours? No, you've got no electric. Surely that would be 4 hours with electric. Like, no.
4 hours?
I'm not going to go and fix the electric. I'm not going to flip the breakers. I'm too lazy for that. Someone else will do it. So she just sits there in the dark, not fixing anything. What do you think the suit's going to do without any power? How is it going to do anything without any power? If it didn't need power, why did you hook it up to the electric mains in the first place? Don't ask questions, turn your brain off, it'll be fine. I mean, she's been here for 0.8 of an hour anyway, just sitting in the dark, and it's still counting down. The suit doesn't have power, but it doesn't seem to need it, apparently. That was just for lulz to shut down the building. But while she's sitting there, bored in the dark, she starts thinking of her friend and falls asleep. So by the time daytime turns around, it's all finished.
Riri.
She hears the voice of her friend, and she sees her.
Tell me wake up.
Was she a Smurf before? I need to know.
Hell no.
Where is the projection coming from? Is it the suit? Because that needed power and it didn't have any. Did somebody else come around and fix your mistake for you?
Well, who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Anyone. Seemingly anyone she fell asleep thinking of when she didn't have any power. I suppose when she was sitting there in the dark, she was like, who else do I know that's a lazy scrounger that wouldn't fix the problem I caused? Oh, what have I done? I think she missed the pillows. This show is one of the most stereotypically racist things I've ever seen in my life. When I saw the trailer, I was making jokes about it, and they just all turned true. She did destroy the entire electric grid, proving that she was an idiot. Then she did it multiple times. She doesn't even know what needs power. The only reason that hologram worked is apparently magic, because the electricity wasn't involved. We have a montage of her building a suit in the most unbelievable way possible, just rolling it on a wheel. And she's utterly insufferable, the complete villain, who just is driven by ego, the desire to crush other people, steal their stuff, steal their respect and prestige and ideas, and then claim that I'm just amazing, you see. And when she breaks the law and beats them, she'll just say she finessed them. Utter scum. Pure insufferability. And you're supposed to respect her as the main character. And the thing is, I know this gets worse. I haven't seen the later episodes yet, but I kind of know a bit what happens. From the content, you'd think episode 1 would be a low point. You have seen nothing yet. And personally, I'm here for it. The most accidental parody Marvel has ever made. More funny than any of the actual comedy they try and put in when they don't realize they're doing it. And all I want to witness is her descent into evil and crime, all while deluding herself into thinking she's the good guy. Personally, I'm here for it. And I want to laugh every step on the way. It was good with Doctor Who. It's going to be great here. But until then, that's it from me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.